Greg Powers with TexasFootball.com, and I'm joined by Lake Belton head coach Brian Cope. Man, say enough about your start this year. Just 6-0, got a lot of wins under your belt. I bet you wish that you had a chance to push it into the playoffs this year. Why don't you just kind of talk about what it's been like, going up against some top teams in Texas?
Man, it's been a blast so far. It's been a big challenge for our kids. We don't have one senior in our program, and we got 250 kids currently playing football at Lake Belton High School, with another 120 waiting in the wings in 8th grade already. So, man, the future's bright in Bronco country. It's been a lot of fun. We opened up with Mejia and had a big 21-point win. We traveled up to Fort Worth and got to play at historic Farrington Field and beat Arlington Heights. Then we traveled to the other end of the state and went down to Poteet. The Strawberry Festival wasn't going on, but they got a good running back down there in Ernest Davila, who was in y'all's preseason All-State team for 3A. We held him to a little less than 100 yards, and then played Cameron Yo and Farrell Hemphill and Fabian. I can't remember Fabian's last name, but he was a running back for him, man, and held them to 14 points and been fortunate there. We'll play Katie Jordan. So we went to Fort Worth, went down to South San Antonio, and then next Saturday we're traveling to Houston to play in Katy. So I didn't hit El Paso, but that's about as pretty. We probably traveled the most miles of any team not in West Texas.
It's a new school there. You're getting to put your fingerprints on it from the very beginning and build something there. I think that many people in the Texas high school football community would agree that they think it has a chance to be really special. But what are your perceptions there as things get started? How have you liked it? How do you like the coaching staff? And kind of talk about your team a little bit.
I'll tell you this. I'm fortunate. Last year there was 10 guys on staff, including me, and then now we got 14. And my offensive coordinator, Matt Uzel, who was a head coach in San Antonio, he and I went to college together, and he came up there as the OC. My defensive coordinator, Randy Hooten, who was the co-DC at Hutto, and then my strength coach, Cade Cole, who was at Hardin-Simmons and before that in Tarleton and in the college ranks. I'll tell you this, I went 14 for 14. It is a phenomenal staff that understands that hard work pays off. And really, there's not a weak link, which makes it a lot of fun. Our kids are phenomenal. Have an unbelievable junior class. You talk about not making the playoffs. I've talked to them before. I've probably said it to them probably 3 times in a year and a half. Hey, man, I'm sorry we can't make the playoffs this year, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to go do our very best. We talk all the time that Alabama doesn't worry about anybody else but Alabama, which is why there's numbers on our helmet. It's kind of an Ohio State and Alabama combination, 2 pretty good programs we kind of want to model ourselves after. And we want to make sure that our kids understand that your very best with 2-12 effort is going to give us a chance to be successful.
I think you and I spoke pretty soon after you got the job there, and you told me you're going to have some really good talent coming through the pipeline there, and you definitely weren't wrong. But it takes a total team effort. You have the top guys on the team, and you're going to have some of the guys who are getting offers and that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are going to know about those guys. And we're going to talk about a couple of them here. The first one that jumps to the forefront of my mind is Micah Hudson. And looking at his profile before we did this interview, he's a guy who already has some P5 attention, got an in-state offer from Baylor up the road. What makes him so special? Why are colleges already super interested in him?
Well, one, he's only 15 years old. He does turn 16 in December. He's electric with the ball in his hands. Whether we put him at running back or wide receiver, we faked it to him one game, and I think 13 people tried to come tackle him, so the play action was wide open. He is deceptive with his speed, but he's very, very fast. But the one thing that stands out to me is he probably has the most incredible ball skills that I've ever seen. On his good days, it's impressive, but you'll see some days when you know that it's all going for him. And his great days, I mean, he makes some catches in practice that I haven't seen made in a long time. And so that gives him a chance to be very, very successful. He's also an outstanding young man. He has such high character. He's in my wife's pre-AP geometry class. He wanted to challenge himself this year. So he understands that grades are going to give him an opportunity to be able to figure out where he wants to go to college. He was there cheering on our JV team tonight. He's been at the middle school game. And he just wants these kids to understand what it means to be a Bronco. And man, we are so fortunate to have the opportunity to coach him, but he is one of our top workers too, which makes it a lot of fun.
What's it like being able to go and tell a guy that he's getting a scholarship offer, just in general? I mean, that's why I love talking to coaches. You guys have some fun stories, but what's it like being able to sit a young man down and say, hey, you know, UTSA's extending you an offer, or Baylor or something like that? It's got to be pretty cool. Heck, he's got offers from Cincinnati.
I'll tell you this. I got in a little trouble at my house. When Cincinnati called me, I had to walk down to his class, and he was in my wife's class, and she was doing notes at the time. And I said, hey, I need to borrow Micah real quick. And we stepped outside. Now I made sure he got his notes done. But man, what a neat deal to see the kid's face light up every time, whether it be the first one or whether it be the 40th one. And I've had some kids do that too, of course. But man, it's a lot of fun to see those kids get the opportunity of a lifetime and understand. And we teach our kids all the time that hard work pays off. I can't tell you when, but I can tell you that hard work always pays off.
One guy who I know is going to get offers, he doesn't have any listed yet, but I watched him play at the state 7-on-7, and you talked about the success of your defense so far this season, and that's Javion Wilcox, a 6'1", 180, 190-pound, hard-hitting safety who has some ball skills as well. I don't think it's going to be long, Coach, but I got to think that there are some colleges that's going to be interested in him. There
are a lot of people that have been watching his tape. I think he plays boundary safety for us. His frame has the ability to easily hold 215, if not more. He's physical enough to play linebacker. I really think that that's probably where down the road he's headed. I know that's where a lot of people are kind of looking at him at. But man, his nickname's Boom for a reason. And he will, we add him into the box a lot of times. Coach Hooten does a great job of understanding our strengths of our kids. And man, he doesn't miss too many tackles. I'll tell you that right now. And man, he's physical at the point of attack. He's everything that you want in a high school safety with the ability to play linebacker.
It takes a village to build a great team down there. And I know that you're not going to be able to mention every guy on the team like you want to be able to. And we want to be able, of course, to feature as many guys as possible on the website and in the magazine as well. But who are some of the other guys that you really feel like colleges should know about? And when I say colleges, I try to keep a focus on, some of the higher levels just for the purposes of these interviews, because we don't want to leave anybody out. We want to talk about as many people as possible, but you got to have some other guys that I think that could get D1 interest there. And I know you got a good quarterback. Yeah, it starts with our quarterback, Connor Cruz. Man, he is a 4.0 kid, 6'2", physical, 3rd and 1. He's going to have the ball in his hands running a quarterback play most of the time, and understands that his leverage is going to give him a chance. Man, understands when he's got to zip the ball in and also have a nice touch. He started on the freshman A team before we split. He was our quarterback. He's been a quarterback since day one, and has done a heck of a job for us. Understands what leadership is as well. Man, if our kids are having a bad day, he's going to make sure and get on to them. It's not just going to come from me. And I think he's got a chance to play at that next level. I know Rice was taking a look at him. I think there's some others that are going to be pleasantly surprised when they watch his film. Because like you said on the first play, I mean, he can flat spin it, and is very, very intelligent with the game. And that's another 23 kid. We also have, in my opinion, a really good 24 kid, a kid named Selman Bridges. He is a 6'4" corner. Wow. That is learning, played wide receiver and corner last year for us. He's playing corner this year for us, and is a playmaking joker at 6'4". I understand is physical as well. His first clip on his highlight film is him knocking a receiver down on a bubble. So he's not afraid to put his nose in there. We're gonna be physical at Lake Belton High School. I think that's the only way, in my opinion, to be great is be physical and play with 212 effort. One thing I'm really happy about, Coach, is that we're starting to at least emerge out of this pandemic a little bit, and colleges are able to come back out on the road. And I know that your school is going to be one of the first stops, and you have a number of guys down there that not only have the intangibles on the field, but they're bringing their A game in the classroom as well. And I know that starts at the top. And I just want to go ahead and let you know, you and your kids there have an invitation. If they want to come into the studio, make their commitments live at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, putting it in the world for all the world to hear, you guys have an invitation to send your guys up, and we'll take care of them. So thanks for the time tonight, and we look forward to seeing how your team progresses there. And I certainly look forward to covering all these recruitments as these guys start to pick up major offers.
Well, you know what? Get the word out because there's a sometimes those new schools don't get looked at. And I promise you, no one's going to work harder for these kids than myself and our staff. We're going to make sure that we get kids known. And there's other kids, you know, I could talk about Ty Legg, who made a great interception right there to seal the Cameron game. Peanut Brazel with a 4th down stop. And, you know, and all these kids, here's what's great about it over there, Greg, is all these kids, Ty plays football and baseball and track. Peanut started football, plays basketball, baseball. Micah, football, basketball, track. Javion, football, basketball, track. Javion was newcomer of the year. So we're going to go out there, and Connor plays football and baseball. Our baseball team won the district championship. Our track team won the district championship with only freshmen and sophomores. And so we're trying to make sure that these kids understand that, man, you get 4 years of high school, enjoy it, compete in everything. And that's a testament to our staff to go along with these kids and their parents as well.
Well, if you got a guy named Peanut and a guy named Boom, colleges have to come by. So
those are both safeties. So that's what makes our defense pretty talented.
Coach, thanks for joining us.
No problem. Have a good one, Greg.
You too.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.